Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday. Welcome back to Recall Knowledge presents Outlaws of Alkenstar, a show where Pathfinder enthusiasts play through your favorite adventure paths. I'm your GM, Steve, and I'm joined by Ricardo, Richard, Ninna, and Tommy. Go ahead, everyone, and say howdy, Outlaws.
Howdy.
Outlaws.
Everyone joining us for the first time, welcome. And anyone who's been with us before, welcome back. Just like Phenomenally CJ with the 20-month resub at the top of the stream. Woo! Thank you, CJ. Last time we were playing, we were off last week unexpectedly. I apologize. We left off in sort of a cliffhanger where you guys were fighting ninja undead monks and then got attacked by the doggo. I want to get back to that exciting tense moment, so we're going to get going pretty quick tonight. We do have a small announcement, and that is this episode is once again sponsored by none other than Molten Hosting.
Molten Hosting?
I didn't do it this time. Thank you,
Richard's got the shit toms. It's all good. Got that important shit.
They're so hot right now.
It's so hot.
So a lot's happened since our last episode, and it looks like nearly the impossible has been done. Wizards of the Coast has reversed course on the whole OGL dilemma. They are planning on leaving the existing OGL in place for 5e, not attempting to invalidate the current one with a newer, more restricted license, which is awesome. You know, more than I could have hoped for. I think most people were kind of surprised that it worked, and I think we here at Recall Knowledge are going to take a lot of the credit. I think most of the credit is fair on this one.
Sure.
Yeah.
In making that happen, our hard-hitting satire paved the way for Wizards to put the microscope on themselves and realize, are we the baddies?
We are both the cause of and the solution to all problems.
In fact, we are such a big part of the problem and solution that Wizards of the Coast has sent over another message. This time it's pre-recorded. They didn't want to do another live interview. They didn't like how that went, but they're sending a pre-recorded message for our show, a curated one, if you will, so they don't look as bad, I assume, as a follow-up to our last interview, which was set up once again by none other than our sponsor, Molten Hosting. Woo! They did ask that we play it without actually watching it first, and I thought, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? Let's go ahead right now and hit play on that video.
Who put the toms in the video?
Is this working? Okay. Hello? Hello there, fellow consumers of our product. I'm President of Wizard of the Coast, Cynthia Williams, here with a heartfelt message to you. Those of you watching Recall Knowledge, you are our most important asset within the company, which is why we wanted to set the record straight on Dungeons and Dragons. And with me is Vice President of Wizard of the Coast, David Schwartz.
Thank you, Cynthia. It's important that you know what our consumers want most. That's what we prioritize. You've made your voice loud and clear. You want things to stay the way that they are, and we agree with you, which is why we're canceling our current feedback requests. We never actually intended to make changes you didn't like, we promise.
Yeah, and you see, this was always about listening to our consumers. When you win, we win. And right now, we're all winning together. This was always intended to be a beta feedback process where our super secretive license would get leaked to the press, shared worldwide, and be open for your input. That was our plan all along.
And of course, the plan works perfectly. So, there's no need to cancel your D&D Beyond account. It's not actually making a difference. So go ahead and resubscribe.
Yes, please resubscribe.
And not because all we care about is money, but we want you to make sure you can purchase our next awesome release, Keys from the Golden Vault. Stupid fucking name. That awesome anthology of one-shots.
So remember, we here at Wizard of the Coast view you as one big family. Greg, I'm sort of recording something right now.
I'm sorry, Madam President of Wizards of the Coast, Cynthia Williams. You asked me to let you know when the stock dropped below $60, and it just did.
Tell my broker to sell off 1/3 of my holdings and fucking get out of here. No, where was I? Fucking Greg. Okay, right. Please come back. We need you.
Look, we're not saying we haven't made mistakes, but it's allowed us time to realize how much we've missed you. And we're willing to change. We promise.
Remember all those late nights we hung out together? Up until 3 a.m. fighting dragons? Those were good times.
Remember that time you rolled a natural 20?
Yes.
Remember that time I scrolled past the script and fucking totally lost where we were? Wasn't that feeling amazing? We could have that again.
Please resubscribe.
Madam President, Wizard of the Wizards of the Coast, Cynthia Williams, your 10:30 meeting is about to start. The one about effective monetizing of 1 D&D, getting every last dollar we deserve.
Greg, come on. Okay, we have to go. Remember, we love you and need you, and we want you back.
In fact, as a show of goodwill, we here at Wizards of the Coast are going to offer a free month of Foundry VTT. Can y'all fucking imagine? That'd be wild. At a website
I think it's Vit, sir.
Greg, shut up!
At a website called Molten Hosting. It says here that it's a way to host your games without giving your money to Wizards.
That's right. We get nothing from this promotion, and if you use the code Recall Knowledge,
One word.
it says here it's 1 word, whatever that means. You can get your entire first month of service for free. Goodbye.
Remember, we're not saying we did anything wrong, but if you think we did, we're sorry you perceived it that way, and we will try to make sure we frame it better in the future. Bye!
Yes, that's right, sir. Vit, I believe it's French.
Well, there you have it, everyone. Straight from the mouth of Wizards of the Coast themselves in a highly legally binding announcement. They want your money, and the pressure from the community worked. Congratulations. Round of applause, everyone.
Woo!
Also, you think sending together like a pre-recorded video, they could have put it together a little better and not made themselves look like douchebags, but I guess that's how much they care about us. Anyhow, big thanks to Molten Hosting for sponsoring the show. If you want a way to show Wizards how much they suck, consider switching to the service that makes them no money. Sign up today at moltenhosting.com. It's a cloud hosting server for Foundry VTT, I believe is the official kids are saying. It's kept clear from the Wizards' upcoming VTT nonsense. It's the service we use on the show. We urge you to use it for your game too. And as president of Wizards of the Coast, Cynthia Williams was so glad to put, if you use the code Recall Knowledge,
One word.
One word.
It's 1 word.
it's a single word in the box. You don't put a space. Recall Knowledge, no space, 1 word. That's what it means. Use it at checkout and get your first month of service entirely for free. Thank you, moltenhosting.com. So a little bit of some bookkeeping. Our passionate community, especially one of our longtime patron subs, David Sims, pointed out that I made a mistake in our last session because of something that happened. I think I gave 3 actions and used my 3rd action to attack Saruk with an action after Reficule had stunned someone and they shouldn't have had a 3rd action to use. And as apology and as a thank you to David for bringing it up, I am being twisted to give Saruk an extra hero point starting tonight.
You're damn right. I was about to be like, hey, people rules lawyering sucks, but I'm getting benefit. This is great. Thank you, rules lawyers.
Ooh, we also got a raid from Larplad. Hello, Larplad and everyone here. Thank you for joining us. We're just about to get started. We just got all of our announcements out of the way.
You missed the discussion with Wizards of the Coast. You're just in time for probably the dance party, I feel like.
Yeah, rewind. Wizards sent a really official communication using our show as a platform. It's awesome.
Apparently, I make much more money than I thought I did.
Yeah, start that dance party, Rick.
Now, Nina, you have to say, get off my plane.
All right, everyone. It's going to do it for announcements. Viewers, go ahead and sit back and relax. Players, let's jump into episode 11 of Outlaws of Alkenstar, Cradle of Quartz, written by Scott D. Young. Woo, let's go.
Parts.
Why?
And we are back. Welcome back to the Cradle of Quartz. Our camera fades in high over Tentacle Canyon. Somewhere west of Alkenstar in the spell-scarred desert lies this long forgotten, possibly erased temple known only as the Cradle of Quartz. Our outlaws have hired, I guess commandeered is a little rough. Our outlaws have chartered an airship and convinced the pilot to take them out to this remote, dangerous location in search of a missing scientist by the name of Alaman Kosawana, who might just have cracked the formula for the deadly explosive known as pyronite. Following a series of hidden clues linked to the secret society within the Temple of Bry, they cracked the code and have shown up here at the Cradle of Quartz. Only what they've learned is they are not alone. For a mysterious, what they are calling Time Doggo, has been stalking them, materializing through the walls, appearing at the worst possible time, and its very eyesight alone is enough to open bloodless wounds across their whole body. They have right now retreated from their last encounter with it and find themselves back on the entryway outside the Cradle of Quartz, where they are free from this doggo's wrath. And that's where we see, as the camera pans up from the sort of like hot desert beneath this large giant crystal facade in front of the temple, or in front of the cradle, are outlaws, beaten, bruised, and patching themselves up. And that's where we fade in, and you guys are able to pick up where you guys would like to be.
How are we gonna fucking find Kosawana with that dog in there?
One room at a time.
Did the pup show up again?
It was
Yeah.
there, Ruffy.
I saw you pop the smoke. But, those damn monks. I really don't like the priest of Bry. Alive or dead, I just don't seem to like him very much.
It does seem they hold a grudge. That you can hear them punching now from the great beyond.
Right?
Let's not talk too much shit about Bri. She did
We are
bring
in
me back
Bry's
up to
house.
life. Yeah.
I mean, got no problem with her. It's her, her little lackeys that seem to have a problem with us.
That's a gross oversimplification of undeath, but here, and Sir will start walking for the door.
Oh, by the way, how was that amulet worth anything?
I don't know. I'll give it to Miss Anita. It was like I think Saruk said a holy symbol, Bry. So figured that was more appropriate. I mean, but when we think about the dog, I mean, have we tried to even use a mirror?
No, I suppose we haven't.
It's a good idea.
Do you have one on you?
No, I just throw out useless information here.
I wonder if I shine Wybert's entire body and then Wybert's just in front of us, if he'd work as a mirror.
If you want to try, I will help you.
I need polish. We have too much sand in here. It could work, but it would take a lot of time.
As much as I, would love to spend the afternoon shining Wybert's bum, maybe we should just try the smudge sticks some more.
You feeling all right, Reffy? Because, I mean, you're not Wybert, but you sure are having a little bit of feedback, like you're chittering in them chaps of yours.
The mana wastes have sunk into him.
I got hit right in the throat by one of those monks.
Ooh, yes, which reminds me, I could patch you guys back up.
All right, if everyone's ready, and I'm gonna
Well, as good as new.
shield in one hand, smokestick in the other. Babuski!
So you once again step into the main entryway, this entrance hall, the hexagonal chamber with 4 passages leading out, 2 of which you've already explored, 1 of which you've explored through your Eidolon. The sort of pulsing glow of these crystal lights again hit the magnificent mosaic in this wall. There are thousands of gemstones pressed into the wall here, each individually set, creating a face of Bry looking down at you here in the entrance hall. At a quick glance, those of you that are trained in crafting can tell many of these are very worthless stones picked just for their color, but there are quite a few valuable stones in this room too. If anyone was to spend some time, you could probably clean up a little bit, prying out the valuable gems. But from here, there are 4 chambers, and there's still this kind of weird throne sitting right at the room. And there's also the strewn explosion of the clockwork creature that you destroyed just yesterday,
Right.
and burn marks in the floor. And you see almost a silhouette of Anita where it exploded and left a shadow.
Miss Anita, I know you were collecting some of that stuff over there earlier.
Yes.
You missed there's 4 in here. I don't know if you really noticed that because
Yes.
of what's gone on the last few hours, couple days.
Yeah, you see Anita already trying to get one of the crystal lamps off while she's mounted on Wybert. She definitely came in and was like, ooh.
There's a comment in there to be made about where your priorities are, but I'll spare you. And I'll just get to the door. Once the team is in the 5-foot burst that a smokestick can be dropped in, I'll kick the door.
Yeah. Remember, these doors are not actually doors. It's more like a little cloth that's been pulled across the doorway. So it blocks sight, but it's not like a heavy duty door. So there's nothing, you can kick the cloth, but it's not it's just gonna like get wrapped up and tangled in your foot a little bit.
I'm so glad the voice of God has told me not to do that. I will instead move it with my shield like a very smart being that I am.
I think too, as Anita is like collecting the lamps, the lamp that's on this side of the hall, right next to where Saruk is waiting to go, you kind of get up on Wybert, so like this lamp up here. You get up there, and as you're like fiddling with it, you realize it feels broke at first. Like you grab it and it wobbles, unlike the rest are very, very delicately made and very finely crafted. This one has a little bit of wobble where it like connects into the wall. And as you try to like unscrew it, the whole thing sort of shifts to the side and there's like a clicking noise. And you see behind the throne room, there's like almost like grinding of stone as the door, like a small door sort of pops open just a little bit. And you guys found a secret door.
Why, but I found a secret door.
I knew your klepto tendencies would always come in handy one day.
Klepto what?
Damn it, Ruffy.
I don't know, I heard Saruk saying that word the other day.
Don't bring that up at me next time. Saruk's just gonna... From here, does it look like there's anything in the room that will bite me?
Peeking in through like the little like sliver of crack peeking in. It looks like a small room. It only looks like maybe like a 10 foot by 10 foot sort of secret chamber. You don't see anything. Well, why don't you give me a perception check? There's like a seek action. We'll see what you notice. Peeking in, you don't see anything that looks like dangerous. It doesn't look like there's anything moving. It is completely dark, but you have dark vision, so it's not an issue. You do see this sort of like wooden, not very, it doesn't look very ornate. Like the rest of this chamber, very rigidly built, very constructed, very much a lot of thought and design and care went into every piece of furniture that has stood the test of time. Here, you find a really old, decrepit table with a giant leather-bound tome sitting on top of it, and a small like stone chest sort of tucked away in the corner. But nothing moving.
So I'll step in, attempt to pick up the chest.
Okay, the chest is like solid stone. How much bulk do you have to spare? Like how much can you actually carry?
I have like 4. I think I probably have enough to get it in the bag of holding.
I think you'd be able to like drag this, but I don't know if it'd be like pick upable. But with some care and maneuver, you might be able to like slide it into a.
Or, I mean, if it's that big, if it's that heavy, I'll just pop it open.
Okay, yeah, I'll just reveal this then. So you pop open the lid and you see it's filled to the brim with various gems, valuable objects, coins. It's full of treasure. So the stone's heavy, and you can tell it's actually full of all kinds of various things worth 450 gold in total.
Yeah, Mr. just gonna.
There's also a couple of magical items, I guess, that you don't know quite what they do just by looking at them floating on top. And the last thing, it's in that loot object, but it is that tome that's on.
Like this here.
Yeah, it's like a makeshift altar. But you can take that book if you'd like.
Yeah, just quickly grab everything. Let's keep moving.
I mean, maybe we take a look at that book right outside.
You think it's important right now?
I mean, I'm in no hurry to get bloodless cuts all over my body, considering I just got karate chopped in the neck.
Those are the wisest words I've ever heard you say. Suddenly, I want to go read this book, and I'm just gonna waltz outside.
What are the rest of you doing? Anita's gonna keep taking crystal lamps.
Anita has not learned, and her kleptomania will get her the second death.
If Saruk and Hal are walking outside, I'll let Annie take a few, and then eventually I'll be like, "Time to go. We'll be back," and literally grab her shoulders and like start pulling her away.
One more, Rafi.
We'll come back and get them all, I swear.
Okay.
So do you want to take so you've got these two, and then after you get the second one, that's when Saruk goes in and finds that chamber. He leaves. Are you gonna go for like the third one now? Or are you going to come back later?
I'm gonna come back. Like I had it loosened, and then when Ruffy goes, we'll come back for it. Then I'll leave.
Okay. Fair enough.
Once everybody's outside, Saruk will close the door. Ruffy,
I open the door. I close the door. I open the
leave
door.
it shut. There's a peril pup. And I guess okay. So when I see what the loot is labeled as, from looking at it, does that feel like someone has stolen things from like the Temple of Bry, like in Alkenstar, and then brought it here, or is it like stuff that would have been looted from the Cradle of Quartz and we're the baddies?
At a first glance, just from looking at it, it's very obvious that most of these coins, most of the art and objects that are here, definitely originated from the Temple of Bry. It's hard at a glance to know whether it's stolen from the temple or it's just been collected from here. You'd probably have to read the book a little more to fully grasp what is going on with this. But the book itself it's a massive set of, it's basically a journal, and it's massive. It would take a person multiple days of like dedicated reading just to really pour over the whole thing.
Man, the amount of skill feats I could have taken that would have made that go faster, and then I didn't do. Damn it.
You're an investigator. You should have stuff. You don't?
Right.
I mean,
All
maybe
this
just
damn-
look at the front and then look at the back.
Yeah, I was thinking like the name and then the last entry.
Well, as luck would have it, I put in the description of the item the first and last entry in the book, at least a summarized version of it.
My hero. Okay.
So I'll read it out loud. Just you can read it. I'll read it out loud, especially for the stream's sake. This is a leather-bound book. It's detailing the plans of a man named Droxelos. In the first entry, he writes about his plans to destabilize the Temple of Bry by creating an alter ego, the 13th Ordinal. He will trick members of that faith into blasphemy and guide them to worship his true god, Yog-Sothoth. Yog-Sothoth? It's hard to say out loud. It's one of those creepy outer gods. The full book would take multiple days to pour over, but it basically, just at a glance, it contains records of a subterfuge, betrayal, the creation of the Cradle of Quartz, and this whole sort of cult that he spawned. It seems to have been an entire plan by this guy, and everything that you've heard about this place was all orchestrated by this Droxelos. The last entry is dated 40 years ago, and it reads, "It stalks us even now. I have taken refuge in my chambers where it is weakest. We cannot sleep, for it takes joy in tormenting us. It must be here because we are close to unlocking the true potential of the sphere. The key and gate are almost reunited, and our world shall finally be cleansed. Droxelos, the 10th of Desnus, 4688 AR."
Someone, I struggle so much with Tommy knows everything. Saruk may not do. How do you feel about occultism for context, Steve?
I am 100% on board for that.
Tight. Question marks.
Okay. Are you doing it on like context of this book and stuff?
Yeah. So like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry do these concepts make Saruk? Or like, do I know who Yog-Sothoth is? Do I?
But with your roll that you rolled, you would definitely have got a success on your recall knowledge check. So whatever you think narratively is interesting for Saruk to know that Tommy knows, I would say you're good to go. You know, generally speaking, this is bad news. You know, this deity is not good at all. And I think maybe especially with the whole plan of tricking people of one faith into worshiping someone secretly is might not sit well with you, especially knowing that you've seen these people, these undead here. They were dead and rejected by their deity in Judgment Day.
I think Saruk gets to the last page, reads it, slams the book shut, and just like hucks it on the ground. There's no wonder there's a Hound of Tyndalos here. Fucking blasphemous. I don't know what's going on in here, but I don't want Kosawana to find it, and neither do we. We should get moving.
So what did it say though?
Do you want the short version or the long version?
What do you think?
I think you would like me to explain to you the difference between an eye for... Damn it, Ruffy. The shortest version is there are things that live, Saruk points to the sky, out that way. And they're very, very unkind, and they like to do very unkind things to people. The MSSP mostly deals with demons, but it's not unheard of. And the people who built this wonderful place convinced people that this was a great and wonderful thing for Bri, but they were working for an outer god to achieve their agenda. An outer god who is closely associated with time. And now there's a Hound of Tyndalos here who presumably stopped them.
But then Kosawana's trying to restart whatever they thought they were doing.
Or maybe Kosawana thinks this has something to do with his church and he's... What's the phrase? Strung along, I guess, finding something that he might think is here, but actually isn't. It's... Remember when we thought this would be just a quick getaway to the mana wastes, grab somebody, and then have to deal with Pyronite? No, this is an entire can of worms.
Yeah, also, if you remember, all mentions of this place were completely stricken from the holy text, the Logic of Design. There was no mention of this place at all. 40 years ago, it had been removed from the text.
It makes a lot of sense that this was removed from the Logic of Design. I don't think they want people to know that they fucked up this bad, or that something this blasphemous could have existed. There was something in there about creating an alter ego. It's like, I'm sure everyone has heard some nightmare about looking in the mirror and then the thing in the mirror waves back and reaches out its hand and kills you. Kind of like that. Something like that to infiltrate the church. There's a lot of stuff there, frankly. I don't want to read it. I don't think you're going to find anything but the ravings of a lunatic.
Oh, I'm not reading it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, should we get a move on?
I think so.
There's no time like the present.
You always put it in Wybert's bum.
For that joke, the Hound of Tyndalos shows up and attacks you. Roll initiative.
Yeah, that's fair. Kill this man for shitty puns.
Yeah.
Time joke, time puns. Nope.
And Surg will pick up the journal and tuck it away. He's uncomfortable, but it's evidence, so it's important to have it. But it's not good. And then shield up, smoke stick at the ready. After me.
So from here, there's the path splits in two different directions. One you've kind of explored. The other is still a complete mystery to you. Which way would you like to go?
Let's try. Oh god, it's been a while.
And is Anita still taking this time to pilfer crystals while Saruk? Okay.
I think if we were to go this way, there's one corner we hadn't seen. On the off chance we hit the fucking Hound of Tyndalos. Yeah, let's go to the end of the hall, down here and around the corner. Check that off.
Yeah, go ahead. I assume your exploration activities are still your normal defaults of scouting for Hal, and actually let's just refresh our memories. What is everyone's current exploration activity as we move through the Cradle of Quartz?
Starting with Sabruk.
Defending, I think, or whichever the one is to get ready to block incoming things and pop smoke.
You start with your shield raised as long as you're defending. So yeah, you're in that defensive stance.
Scouting.
Ruffy? Scouting for Hal, yeah. Ruffy?
I have a pet at the ready. No, I'm just looking out for the peril pup.
Okay. So sort of just on the lookout for danger, seeking. Anita?
I think her exploration activity is stealing. Yeah.
Quietly stealing.
Oh god.
Every once in a while, I just grab Annie and just kind of keep her moving along with the group.
Is there an exploration activity that's...
But in all seriousness, though, Anita would try to look for maybe secret passageways by looking at, certain cracks or how the quartz is made. Hashtag, I'm trying to see if I could use crafting for this one.
Go ahead and make a crafting check. This is sort of investigation using crafting. I think here it's very applicable. And then for Refugee, you can give me just a secret perception check as you keep an eye out for any hidden dangers.
I feel like I'm probably gonna clue in Rafi.
Question marks.
All right, let me get that clue in.
And then with that sort of bookkeeping done, you can go ahead and move your tokens down towards the end of the hall. Feel free.
We're so good at Pathfinder. Look at all those question marks.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Marks.
We rolled good, and so did they. I think I'm gonna stop here. So the team catches up.
Once you get to the end, it looks like the room is unfinished. You can see that there's like tunneling tools and leaning against the walls, and there's a bunch of baskets full of like rubble and things like that. It seems like at whatever time this might have been future expansion of the Cradle of Quartz in the temple. So they've kind of dug out this hallway, but they never got to finish, and it just sort of dead ends unfinished here.
We know it's a real problem. Let's just really quickly get here, scan. Is there anything that looks like it's immediately helpful?
Yeah, as you take a peek, a bunch of like rotted away like wood on some of the tools and some old bits of metal, but nothing that appears to be valuable or useful, unless that's valuable or useful to you. I think Anita, though, as you're kind of like looking for secret doors, you don't find anything secret doors and stuff, but you can't help but admire one more time the fine crafting of these quartz lamps, you know. And there's one left in this hallway, like right in the middle that you haven't taken yet. And as you're passing under it and like thinking of a way to steal it, and just like really appreciating how hard it would have been to shape this in the exact perfect shape it needs to be, for just a moment, you see a set of eyes staring back at you. And as you blink, it's gone.
That scared me because there's also something behind Richard. I don't know. I thought it was a person.
Like on his camera?
Yeah,
Oh,
on his
God.
camera. I was so scared.
It's transcended the game into the cameras.
I was like, oh God, it's happening.
It's that fucking movie from 2005 where if you die in the game, you die for real. There are a lot of
Oh
movies like that.
no.
Yeah, you don't notice any secret passages this way as you're searching. You can
Ugh.
stop and search more if you'd like, but at a quick glance with your sort of exploration activities moving through here, it just looks like a clear-cut dead end.
We about face.
I saw an eye, I think, but maybe I've just seen things. Never mind. Ignore me.
No, I'm not going to ignore you. What did you see?
Like a pair of eyes. It just blinked at me. I was looking into the crystal. Oh, I was looking into the lamp, and I looked down, and all of a sudden there was a pair of eyes just looking at me. Were the eyes red, blue?
The eyes themselves looked like pure white, and they seemed to match the hound's eyes, the same eyes that you've seen. But like with the way that it was like reflected within the crystal, it just looked like there was maybe like hundreds of infinite eyes reflecting upon themselves into infinity, and it like hurt your brain for a second looking at it.
I saw the eyes of the hound inside the crystal.
I don't need any further context. I'll slam the thing with my shield.
Yeah, like it's looking through us with it.
You reach up and you slam the thing, which like breaks the like crystal, the sort of like torch, you know, the torch itself falls to the ground, and it is lootable because inside of it there is this sort of ever burning torch that powers it, right? So that falls to the ground. You can pick that up. The crystal housing has been completely shattered. And as you do that, I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, good. So I feel like Refi would be much closer to where we are. Like, because we're trying to move like all together as one. I know like tokens aren't moving because people are doing other things and stuff.
I'll let referee position himself.
Do not pet get your ass behind me. Peril pup petting later. You get behind the tank.
I was making sure that Annie was moving along, so.
I love that I'm in the front for this.
Huzzah!
Oh, God, you move it closer. Thank you.
Yeah, now that I know where everyone's positioned, he appears right next to you. You knock this thing on the ground, and he's appearing like literally next to you.
Shit, I forgot to manifest. It's only a 16.
We all get a +2 for scouting, correct?
You do get a +2 from Hal.
Praise be to the scout archetype and my actual 18.
Claw's got a 40 on its stealth, so it is coming in before anyone's really getting. I don't think the +2 bonus is going to help in that case.
Yeah.
No, not if I roll a 2.
gulf between us and it.
Guess what? It has the opportunity to go first. And so as Saruk smashes the lantern and it shatters, falls to the ground, in that moment, this thing like just literally like falls out of the wall next to you, Saruk. And it's fast. It snuck up before you had a chance to even notice it, and it's gonna get to go first.
Nice.
I'm
trying to find the raise my shield button because I have my shield up for this.
You can put the shield up. It should be a macro for it, like a raise the shield. Yeah, there you go. You do have your shield raised because you are defending. So this thing targets you and it tries to do a jaw strike on you. Oh, it was almost a natural 20, but it wasn't. It's only a 30.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit. Hate that.
It bites you for 22 points of damage.
I think we'll go ahead and block.
I think technically it manifests in this square for its first action. For its second action, it bites you. And then for its third action, it's going to claw at you with the map. 3 on the dice, 21 misses. You get the shield and bounce it back. And that's its turn. Miss Anita Kieran, Ulysses Mendoza, you are next.
All right.
So from the front, I'm just gonna, I guess I don't have the action on me to like close my eyes, but just shout, smoke, no!
All right. So I do have it in my hands. So I'm going to throw the smoke stick down on, well, to where Saruk is. So right here.
Just javelin the smoke stick.
Yeah, so like technically it only lets you put it on your own square, but I will let you sort of like open it and have it like explode where Saruk is. So you make a 10-foot burst of smoke. And so which sort of like 4 squares would you like to cover?
So where Saruk is, this area right here, where Halbrand is as well. So they could go run back if they wanted to.
So it'll be these 4 squares are now covered in a thick smoke that obscures everyone with inside of it. That's only what, 1 action?
Oh, I don't know, because like is it a manipulate to like open the smoke stick and then throw it?
So what does the item say?
That's a great question.
Smoke stick. It's just 1 action to do it. So that's only your first action.
All right, a second action. Anita's gonna go into overdrive.
Make that crafting check.
That would be a 28.
Okay, I think that's a success. I don't know if it's a critical success. What level are we? We're level 7.
Yeah.
So the DC is 23. So it's a success.
Okay, so I'll take it. And then, do we still want Wybert to tank while we kite back?
I think that would be a good idea. I'm looking at this hallway and I'm concerned.
Okay. Oh, so move forward, yeah? 'Cause this is the last. This is a dead end.
Or no, what I mean is like the mechanics of Wybert moving and squeezing and such.
Oh, right. Got it.
I think out of character it's a great idea, but I don't know how feasible it is mechanically with what's going down.
That's true.
Yeah, level 6 is actually 22, not 23. Thanks, Rick. But still not quite a crit.
All right, so that is 2 actions. I'm going to use 1 to give Wybert 2 so that he could stride over here and do the necessary checks to get past this thing.
Okay, so that's a tumble through, I assume, instead of a shove, right?
Oh God.
Oh
Get
wait,
it,
no.
Wybert.
Let's do a shove. What's an athletics shove? Yeah.
So yeah, shove. Shove is athletics targeting fortitude.
Oh fuck. Well, we'll try. Huzzah! 22 for Wybert.
2 is a failure. So Wybert runs up, tries to push the creature back, and the creature like stands fast against Wybert and doesn't move. Like he tries to push the creature back, and he almost watches like the wall next to him almost folds in and like anchors him where he is, and he doesn't move.
Okay, so Wybert's just right here next to Saruk. All right, that's it for my turn actually.
That brings us to Hal.
In delay.
Delay. Okay, fair. That brings us to Saruk. You just let me know at the end of someone's turn when you want to jump in, Hal.
Okay, so Is this? I forget how the mechanics of hard corners in 2e work, but is that a legal move? Like if I were to go,
It sort of is, except for the way the corners on the wall. I don't think it allows you to do the diagonal maneuverability around. You know what? I'll allow it.
okay. I think this was the one contingency I hadn't planned for. Tight fucking hallways. Let's try. There are going to be a lot of things which draw attacks of opportunity. First action is going to be to remind myself what my speed is. And then my actual first action is going to be to stride like... Give me the dot. Like so. Oh, that's 20. I hate that. Okay, so then I guess we'll stride twice to here. I can't move it because I'm bouncing through walls, but...
Yeah, I'll just manually treat it. Okay, that's 2 strides that you use. They can move around it. It does not take an opportunity attack on you.
Tight. And then action the third is I'm gonna activate the smoke stick that I'm holding, which I know where is. God. And we'll put the burst like this, I think. I think that's 4 squares. It's glitching through the wall. There we go. And that's 3.
Let's see. You had your eyes open. You moved around it with your eyes open. You ended here, but you ended in the smoke.
Yeah, so we should be concealed from each other.
I think you're good, yeah. A Ruffy or Hal, if Hal's going to jump in. All right, Ruffy.
How close is Hal? Maybe you should go first.
Yeah, Hal's like in a cloud of smoke between you and the creature. It's definitely obscured. Do you want Hal to go first? You guys can work it out if you want Hal to go first.
I was gonna throw something with a bit of splash damage, so I don't know if you want to be. Are you gonna end up within 10 feet of it either way?
I don't know. I can't really see anything, so.
First action, obviously, I'm going to draw my pistol.
Is that a free action or is it actually cost you an action?
It's a free action. Part of into
10
the fray.
paces.
Yeah, I think into the fray now because I'm a drifter.
10 paces.
But I think I'm gonna stride 10 feet in front of Annie. Can't really see it. I'm gonna pull out a smoke stick in the other hand just to be ready.
It is 2 hands. It takes 2 hands to activate a smoke stick, I believe. Doesn't it? I don't think I ruled that right with Saruk, actually. Does it say 2-handed? I think it says 2-handed, right?
I just used my tusks. Don't worry about it. I took the prehensile tusks to Ancestry feat. It's not weird.
Can't tell it. In Foundry, it doesn't say 2-handed, so maybe not. Okay.
Yeah, I think that you gotta twist it to make it go, but I don't think there's enough force necessarily. You gotta get 2 hands on it. I feel like you could
Oh, so in the Archives and Ethos, it does say usage held in 2 hands. But you know what? In this case, Anita has made some cool ones that are it's 1-handed. You can pop it with your mouth. I'm fine with that.
See, look at that. We got wizards talking to us in videos. We're cheating smoke
It did
sticks.
tusk it.
For my third action, just in case, I'm gonna, because I'm not in the smoke, I'm gonna avert my eyes. I'm kind of just trying to block its sight from Annie in case it gets past the smoke, pretty much.
Fair enough. You end your turn. The smoke is obscuring you from the creature, so there's no visual sight, so there's no save to make. Hal.
I think Hal's going to close his eyes and run forward. And if he bams into the creature, he's going to try to tumble through.
Okay. First action, close your eyes. Second action is going to be a tumble through action. Go ahead and make that tumble through check. We'll mark you blind. I don't know if it's going to affect your... Yep, go ahead and target the creature. Make the acrobatics checks against its reflex DC.
This is a serious and terrifying moment, but I really wanted to watch Wybert try to do this.
29 on your check against its reflex DC. So you make this really, you're blind. You can feel it moving. It's making sound. It's got body heat. So you're aware of where it is, and you try to do this really good move. Everyone that's watching is really impressed. I mean, you rolled an 18 on the dice. You have plus 11. That's a solid attempt at tumbling through this thing. And as you do, you have your eyes closed so you can't see it. I think nobody has eyes on it because of the smoke, so nobody can see what happens. As you try to tumble past it, it matches your movement and it like bends the walls around it to block you. This 29 is a failure.
Of course.
And you feel yourself hit a wall and you're not able to move through.
I'm gonna reach out and touch, and when there's an open area, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go through here, and I'm gonna move through Wybert. I have 40 feet, so I think I can get through him.
Yep. Even with your eyes closed, it's difficult terrain. That's your second action unless you get to there.
Take cover behind Wybert.
Okay, take cover it is.
That is my turn.
All right. Up next, the time dog. First action, it uses its angled entry action and immediately appears through the wall right behind Anita.
Mm-hmm.
So you're averting your gaze, Reficule. It now you see it out of the corner of your eye, just like folds out of the wall right next to Anita on the other side of you. Second action targets Anita with its jaw strike. Ooh, that's a critical hit on poor Andy.
Uh-huh.
Average roll on the dice, 46 points of damage.
Ow. Okay.
Last action is to do a map claw strike. 8 on the dice is a 26, which is still enough for a hit.
Yeah.
And you take 14 more points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And it ends its turn there.
Ow! Anita shouts as she takes an action to stride past Refi, and if she could, since he has his eyes like averted, I'm not sure if he heard it, but could she pull him into the smoke as she walks like forward? Like, I'm gonna use the rest of like my 2 actions for that one.
Right. You have open hands. You're trying to yank Reficule. What's your so looking at what you're carrying versus like your encumbrance, you're already encumbered. It looks like you're encumbered at 5 and you're already carrying 6 bulk.
Really?
And Refi itself is really heavy with all his gear and his body weight. You are not strong enough to physically drive Refi.
Hearing Annie get hit and her trying to drag me, I just growl like, "Run, damn it!"
Stick to the plan. Stay with me. Let's go.
All right. So like I will do that.
Wybert, on the other hand, might be able to.
Run to Zaruk. So from here, how many is that?
Lie, you fools.
Lie, you fools. To the door, right here. It won't let me move. Come on. Right there. And then Wybert still has an action, so he's just gonna use his, and then before Wybert moves, Annie's gonna yell, "You better move, Ruffy!" And then Wybert's gonna use his 40 feet of movement, so that's...
He only gets half movement because he's like tight in here, so he'd only get 20 on a stride. Yeah.
He'll be right here.
Yeah. He's making his way, but he's not as graceful.
Making his way.
Saruk. You see Anita flies past you looking rough.
Yeah. I think I would like to delay to the bottom of the round.
Ruffy.
I'm just going to stride my full, let's see, 15. Stride again. And I'm just going to use all 3 actions to get pretty much here.
Okay. Just down the hallway.
And actually, I'm going to go, seeing what happened last time, I'm going to go past Annie. So that way she's in between me and Saruk.
That works.
Seeing his, like, I would imagine he's like hiding behind Wybert and he's got his hand on there, and then Wybert leaves. I think he's gonna follow in quick succession. Like, all right, we're taking off.
Yeah.
I have 40s. That gets me through that guy. And I think he's gonna just continue to run.
I mean, you're fast enough to move almost wherever you want within that chamber.
Is just being blind give me a movement penalty?
Oh, if you don't, yeah, you move at every square is difficult terrain if you don't open your eyes. So you'd only move half as far. Do you want to open your eyes?
Seeing that I'm going into smoke, I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, so I'll unblind you. But yeah, when you're blinded, you do every square is difficult terrain.
Thought so.
I forgot your eyes were closed.
I jam through and I guess run to this door, but that would be 40. I'd have one last action to open the door.
And it opens to a hallway that goes straight, and then it's hard to tell by looking on the map, but it immediately takes like a right-hand turn and continues. Saruk.
Okay, so we're gonna stride 10. Out of character. It's so weird to not be saying untap, upkeep, devise a strat right now. Stride to this space to keep everyone. Okay, this space, Foundry. Jeez. That should keep everybody in reaction range. Anita looks like death warmed over. Lord. Action the second is to draw a lesser elixir of life, and action the third is to apply it directly to the bite wounds. Which, Anita, you may.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Drink this. Stay with me. Keep moving. Stay in the smoke if you can.
All right. Brings us to the top of the next round of combat. First action. So you're looking down that hallway, Hal, and you see as like an action, like you're looking down the hallway, it looks empty, but what you see is like the creature just like you hear the fingernails sort of touching the stonework, which is completely unnecessary because this thing can technically float and fly, but it is walking in a manner that makes it loud and echoey that you can hear, and it slowly kind of comes down and just walks straight. You just ran away from it, right? It just casually walks in front of you and then turns his eyes around the corner and just stares right at you. And you hear its like voice, kind of like the tendrils of its voice reaching into your mind and telepathically just telling you to run. Like, fear me. And that's the end of his turn.
All right, first action, I'm gonna have Wybert move towards me. So I'm gonna give him like 1, so he gets 2. Wait, hang on. Oh my god, I have to give him 2 just to get here. 3, yeah, and then he's gonna grab me. So I am on Wybert right now.
Get on Wybert.
Yes. And then, so that's 2 actions.
Yeah. So Wybert moved 2 actions. You gave 1 to Wybert. You still have 2. It's 1 action to mount Wybert. So you still have 1 action for yourself.
Okay. 1 action for myself. I'm going to avert my gaze.
Perfect. Ruffy. I noticed nobody's pet the dog yet.
Yeah, I wonder fucking why, Steven. Your dog is full of bullshit.
Yes, it is.
Damn.
Stop making it mad.
I would love to. Give me an avenue of diplomacy. I also hate Yog Sothoth.
I'm going to stride here because I saw it, and then close the door.
Like it's just like a curtain, so you just pull the curtain.
Mhm.
Yep.
Maybe let's go the other way for now.
Like outside?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna third action avert my gaze just in case it shows up in the middle of the room.
Al.
Outside or inside? And I'll look to Saruk. Like point to the opening door or point down the hallway.
We know what's in the other rooms. There's nothing down there for us, and there's no path forward. We need to go through it, but we can't because of where it is.
About that door. And I'll point to this door down here.
Again, it's a cloth.
It's a door. Shush. We can try it if you want. Maybe there's something we missed.
We have to go through. We have to get past. I mean, we got to get deeper for whatever reason. Maybe it's just running, or maybe it's like we go back outside. We take an hour or 2 and let him relax, go back to sleep, like dogs are wont to do in the heat, and then we don't bash our shields into the walls or anything. We just like quietly go through.
At least 10 minutes to maybe patch up Annie a little more, and then
I'm concerned that gives Kosawana time to contact the outer gods.
I'm gonna go outside and wait. Close my eyes. Sit down.
Saruk.
Delay until after Refi.
Well, that'll be the next round of combat. If you're already at the end.
Heck. I hate this. Reading all of the things. This is the noise my brain makes. All of them. Literally all of them all at once. Let's...
everywhere.
All at once. I'm going to battle medicine Anita, I think, for action
thank
number
you.
1. I definitely remember what buttons are. We didn't take an off week. Shut up, you know nothing. I'm shooting for a 15. I'm just going to do it the hard way.
Yeah, you have an extra hero point.
I do. Nina, I leave it to you. Do you want to get healed right now or not?
I'm good. I can battle medicine myself.
Okay, so then shit. All right, fine. And I'm gonna interact to draw something that is helpful right now, which is mostly nothing. I think I'm gonna interact to draw a bottled lightning, raise my shield, and pass.
Okay.
You all go. I'm right behind you.
The creature does what it does, but you don't have any sight on it. You have no idea what it's doing.
You know what? Great. That means it's not eating us.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna give Wybert. I'm gonna spend 1 action to give Wybert 2, so that he and I could run out of here.
Okay.
Wybert
Wybert the Uber. And
then while he was running outside to where Hal Brent was, Anita would do like battle medicine on herself using assurance. So that's like 2d8 plus 10, so that's 25 more points for Anita. That's it for my turn.
Ruffy.
Look, maybe 10 minutes. If Kosawana can summon this outer god in 10 minutes, then we've already failed here. We're not getting past this dog in 10 minutes, so...
You're not wrong. Can you take out one of those lights?
I, stride to here. Shoot. Which one?
Whichever.
I'll shoot this light here.
This one was loose.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Actually, skip the attack roll. Just give me a damage roll.
No.
You know what? Because, well, yeah, it's an object. But there's no critical hits on objects. I think you're able to shatter like some of the crystal casing without too much issue, but the whole structure as a whole isn't, 4 damage is not enough to completely decimate this thing. So you've hurt it, but not destroyed it fully. It's resisted some of that damage.
Third action, I'm going to running reload outside.
I love that image. Just shooting things as you run reload.
It's a little vandalism as a treat. Don't worry about it. We're coping.
That's my turn.
You're already outside. Saruk.
I don't know what languages, if any. I think Saruk would probably... It's not from the material plane. The only extraplanar language he has is Abyssal. So in Abyssal, on the hopes that this thing understands, Yog-Sothoth is also an enemy of ours. We mean you no harm. And just GTFO. I think we'll even do it the right way. So that's 2 strides ought to get me there. Foundry, stop telling me where walls are. And then third action, shut the door.
I think you get outside to safety, but like as you do, you get those tendrils of like the creature's telepathy reaching into your brain, and it tells you, bring me, what would the word be? Bring
Treats.
me.
Kibble.
Bring me the trespasser. I must feed on him. And that's what he says.
Kosawana.
Gets outside, shuts the door. They want Kosawana. I don't think it's an accord, but I think it's we're not dead.
Who wants Kosawana now?
The dog.
I'll tell him to stop fighting us. We'll bring him.
Yeah, next time I see them.
So with that, as you close the door again, take a deep breath. Well, we've learned that it doesn't like when you break its crystal lamps, and then secondly, it can talk. But you do make it outside. Injured Anita looks really rough at these wounds do have like physical like blood to them. The ones that are caused by its gaze just rip you open with no blood. These bites and these claws, they hurt like physical pain, and you are like bleeding. So go to break on that note. Again, the doggo pet counters at 0.
At 0 will remain.
I mean, if you pet it and then it hits you for 60 plus damage, shit.
Maybe if you pet it, it wouldn't be so mean. It's a good dog.
His head on a platter, and we have served good things, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if that's one of the options you're willing to do, then it might be willing to treat. So, yeah, with that being said, we're going to take our break. It's going to be a quick 10-minute break. While we're at break, just please take the time to support us here at Recall Knowledge. Subscribe and follow on twitch.tv/Recall Knowledge. Subscribe on youtube.com/Recall Knowledge. If you have Amazon Prime or you're willing to kick us some money with a regular Twitch sub, we'll take it. Please send it that way. Also, check out patreon.com/Recall Knowledge. We have lots of cool things in our community, including monthly map packs. We have a Pathfinder campaign called Bastion that is currently only available. If you don't watch it live on Twitch, you can only catch it right now on our Patreon. It'll come on YouTube later, but for now, that's pretty much the only way to get it. We also are doing some Patreon games. We're planning right now to play Avatar Legends with our Patreons who wanted to try it because it just launched. So we're getting a game going for that. So you get access to our cool super secret subscribers channel on our Discord. It's worth it. Just give us a follow and a sub where you can. We're gonna be back in 10 minutes with some more Time Doggo Pet Simulator right here. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a minute.
Briefs.
That was way late. We are back with some more Cradle of Quartz action. Once again, our intrepid outlaws have failed to pet the doggo, and once again they find themselves running for their lives, recovering on the steps of the Cradle of Quartz. And that's where our camera starts with a shot of the giant crystal quartz structure, this amazing, beautiful dedication to Bry, which we now know is nothing more than a lie. And the camera sort of pans down with the creatures sort of up in the folds of these crystals, staying out of the desert sun, looking down as an openly wounded Anita is patching herself up. And we are ready to you guys can take a minute to narratively come up with a plan, and then we will go back in exploring.
It wants Kosawana. I think I can strike an accord with it. I'm going back in.
By yourself?
It's better that way.
Or do you have a backup plan? Oh, what?
My backup plan is to push open that door and run screaming Mudjagua at the top of my lungs and hoping I don't get my throat ripped out.
Maybe you should manifest your cat and have him come run out here if he attacks you, so we can come in, give you some backup, right? Some backup to the officer, Saruk.
Officer, it's close enough. Kijak!
Yeah, you immediately manifest Kijak, who appears right next to you.
If you feel pain in the bond, let these people know. Anita, if you have time, and I remove my shield and set it down on the ground.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'm just gonna...
Look a bear.
Time, dog. I've come to bargain. Just gonna push the door open, step inside, collide with a freaking wall, shut the door.
Dang walls. They make them so well here.
They do, here in this Cradle of Yogg-Sothoth. I'm gonna approach. This lamp is still lit.
Just sharing again, so we get a nice visual representation of what this creature looks like when you do see it.
This fucking xenomorph ass. I look up into the light. Did I hear it in Talden?
You heard it in whatever language I guess you would assume is your natural thinking language.
So it's true speaking. Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm misunderstanding how telepathy works in Pathfinder, but I don't think it needs to have like a shared language or anything, does it? Oh yeah, so a monster with telepathy can communicate mentally with any creature within the listed radius. So as long as you share a language. So that is a good question.
Saruk speaks Abyssal, Common, Dwarven, Mwangi, Orcish, and Zamba. Damn, these flavorful languages for an interesting backstory, and not one of these being like Aklo.
Yeah, Aklo is what you kind of would want, but I think we'll just say it's speaking in Common. But like you hear the words, you hear when it speaks, you hear like multiple layers of different languages bouncing around your head, and one of those is Common, but it's hard to like focus on the Common mixed in with like the Aklo echoing in your head, but you can get a sense of what it generally is saying when it speaks.
So I'm gonna look up at the light and like immediately shut my eyes. Come out in peace.
Yeah, you hear the like, you can't see it because your eyes are closed, but within the sort of like lantern, you see like the eyes like open and reflected infinitely within the wall, staring back down at you. And in your head, you sort of hear that echoey, layered speak of like, "What do you want?"
I am a servant of a goddess that shaking. A goddess who values safety and community and everything that Yog-Sothoth stands against. We have a common enemy. We are not here to harm you, and we can help you.
You hear a sort of a response like, "Yog-Sothoth is not my enemy. I guard the gates of time.
From who?
All who seek to disturb it.
And someone is doing so now?
The trespasser has broken the rules. He must be sacrificed.
To whom?
To me.
What are the rules?
At this point, if you may, please make me a diplomacy check. This is sort of, you've been interacting with it enough to make an impression. So if you have anything that can modify make an impression.
Yeah. Actually, I think what are the rules might have been a pointed question.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
And I don't have anything that modifies other than the time dog is undergoing an investigation right now.
That's true. So yeah, you could take a clue in on that. The more you talk with it, the more you're learning about it for sure.
So the question being, what are the rules if they could? Well, here's the diplomacy check for that.
Okay.
Nice.
30.
Very nice.
And then you wanted me to make an impression. I shall. It's going to be a good one. It is, because I'm going to use a hero point.
Yes.
Hero point.
Damn
Hero
it.
point. This hero point brought to you by me screwing over Saruk last week.
Good. Yeah, 24 is a little better.
Bumps it up a little bit to 24. So we'll start with the sort of general diplomacy check to see if you've made a good impression, if it's willing to divulge more. That roll is as a failure with a 24, and you're not able to sort of, you haven't said the right stuff to it, and it's feeling you out. So it has not moved from like antagonistic to like neutral or anything. But your pointed question, you got a 30 on. That is a success, which is really cool. So you ask someone a question in the right way, ask a question of a non-ally creature you've been conversing with. If they lie, you get a +2 circumstance bonus to your perception DC to know if he's lying to you. Can't refuse to answer you at all, which is very interesting. You've actually like silver tongue the time dog from another dimension, from another plane of existence, and it has to answer you. This is a really cool moment. And your pointed question was, what are the rules?
Right.
I'm going to make a roll. You have, what's your perception DC with the +2 bonus?
It'd be 22.
22. Okay. The answer is those who seek to alter the flow of time must not survive. And you do not believe that it is lying to you, which leads you to believe that for some reason this creature believes that Kosawana is here to alter the flow of time.
I will make sure that the people with me do not violate those rules. In return, we have a rule of our own. Do not harm us.
Do not break my crystals.
In return, you will not harm us? Don't make me make a request. I'll do it.
If you bring me the sacrifice, you shall leave here unharmed. I will roll that your perception or your lie bonus from here, and you do not get the sense that the creature is lying to you. It seems like the terms are set, which is to say, you agree to leave its crystals alone and you agree to serve up Kosawana to it, you are free to pass. And you don't get the sense in this moment that it's lying to you.
Very well. Then we have reached an accord. I will take my leave now. And just, bow to the crystal, but I am already moving very quickly toward the door. Open the door. Damn these fucking walls.
You're alive?
As far as I know.
That's good.
All right, no more kleptomania.
Okay.
At least not of the crystals. It wants Kosawana. It won't bother us on the condition that we give the creature Kosawana as a sacrifice. Which I don't like, but I like less all of us being harmed. We should be able to move through there without having to panic, and who knows what we'll find in a temple that you thought was something else, but actually was dedicated to an eldritch being. Read something about a place called Otari once.
I mean, if it's going to take Kosamano because he's violated some sacred accord, that is as close as you can get to an eye for an eye.
Yeah. If you ask the creature, Kosawana is here playing with time. And if this is a temple to Yog-Sothoth, yeah, I believe it. Whatever he's doing in there, we've got to stop it. The butterfly effect and temporal anomalies are when Mugland and his associates are dealt with and we have more time, we can talk about that. For now, picks up shield.
All right.
We shouldn't have to panic from here forward. Thank you, Kijak.
So we're back to shooting Kosawana now, right?
Probably.
That's all I need to know.
I want to talk to him.
Do we let the time dog kill him?
Maybe. It's...
Oh.
I mean, if we're not there, if we're not there, then we don't let anything happen because we're not in the middle of anything. So the universe, as it were, takes its course.
That is the MO of the Hounds of Tyndalos. As much as I feel bad for him, and as much as I wonder if he's another pawn in a... Alkenstar is a hell of a city.
I mean, I guess it's for the greater good as well, right? Because doesn't he also know the formula of Pyronite? And we're pretty much trying to get to him before Muglin does because we don't want Muglin to get the formula, so...
Correct, but scientific progress is going to happen one way or another. The cat is out of the bag. Someone's going to get it eventually.
Yeah, you are right though, Anita. Part of the reason you're down this rabbit hole is Muglin tried to grab this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He escaped, and if he's really got the formula to Pyronite worked out, is reported, and it seemed in his workshop, maybe there's some evidence to that fact. The idea was to secure him before Muglin could.
Wouldn't it be a delicious turn of events if someone told Muglin that he could rewrite history if he just stepped into this temple and oops, trespassing?
Tusks, you were reading my mind.
Are we ready to go?
Yep. Let's go turn back time.
Oh, sir, here's your shield. Oh. I'm feeling a little better, Rafi. Thank you. It's just more scars, I guess.
You look like that time when you tried to bring in that stray cat that one time.
I thought it was a really cute cat.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure the resulting scratches were not.
I'll side eyes Reficule and then looks at Saruk and then back to Reficule.
It was
Dog
really
people.
cute.
Pun not intended.
That's not what I tried to kill Sil that last time. It was an accident, Hal.
Every dog has his day.
Every fighter has the puns, apparently. I'm opening this door. Come on.
All right.
You go in and you kind of turn to the left and open that cloth to the side, and you see this chamber that kind of enters straight ahead and kind of veers off to the right a little bit.
Am I still shooting this thing?
No, don't shoot. Don't touch the lights. It likes the lights.
I understand that.
You like the lights.
As Annie's bag is jingling with all of the lights that she's stolen already.
You know what? On second thought, maybe leave those outside. Far the fuck away. I'm not saying this in character where the time dog can hear me talk all this bullshit. I'm going to the door.
All right, and then you see Annie take out the lights from Wybert's trunk. That's where she's been putting it. Gotta carry all of it. Yeah.
So I assume we're still doing the same sort of exploration activities. So if Anita would like to give me the secret crafting check for investigating this place, and if Refiku would like to give me a secret perception check for searching for dangers, Saruk's got the shield up, I assume, and Hal's still scouting. That's my default until you tell me otherwise.
I'm going to clue in Refi, and because I don't think the Hound of Tyndalos is going to fuck us up, instead of a smoke stick out, I think I have the backpack ballista.
So whatever I rolled, I get a +1.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. You kind of coming down this way. You do notice, completely out of place to the rest of the decor here, is a wooden door at the end of this hallway that kind of opens to your right. It just at the look of it, especially with Anita's sort of crafting check, the door looks old and swollen, as if water has gotten into the wood and completely swelled the wood. It doesn't look nice and clean. It looks almost like it's pushing against the edges of the frame here. Just on this roll alone, you can tell that it's stuck and swollen itself to not be usable in a normal fashion. And then from there, the chamber sort of turns left and continues on, and Saruk can kind of get a peek up ahead. It looks like there is what appears to be an old library almost, but all the books and all the papers, everything has been destroyed and shredded, and it's just lies in piles on the floor. And it also looks like it has some sort of large vault door.
Well, do we want to see what caused the leak, or do we keep going on?
I mean, if we're relatively safe, yeah.
No one's been here in so long, and Eldritch Mysteries, and I'm going to try to, I guess, shield check the door.
It doesn't budge. It stays nice and solid, but you get a sense that if you were to you could force it open with a little bit of effort if you really wanted to.
This sounds like an athletics check.
It'd be a force open athletics check if you would like to actually attempt one. I can pop it in chat if you want to see it.
I'll scooch over a little bit. You're up, old man.
And technically my perception would just be what I rolled, because I have a -1 from this stupid helmet that I'm fucking wearing still.
I keep trying to click close, and it keeps sharing images with you guys. So
Hello, small bat friend. Would you also like to make an accord? I hate Yogg-Sothoth.
It's actually so cute. It looks cute as a grumpy little
That's
fucking
famous
face.
last words.
Go ahead and make that force open check for Hal. The athletics check.
Cutie.
This is what happened with a cat.
Critical success. with minimal effort, you force open the door. With the critical success, you actually managed to open it without even damaging the door, so you can actually reclose it, which is nice. Yeah, the door sort of flies open or opens, and you kind of open it, and you see in this room almost like a natural spring. It's definitely a flooded room. The swollen door sort of gives way to a roughly worked cavern, which, unlike the rest of this temple, which is very meticulously crafted at perfect angles, there is a sense of like pure nature here. It's a natural cavern. There's a series of holes like in the ceiling that look up towards the sky, and some of the light actually comes through, and there's just dripping of water that kind of drips off of these stalactites above you and creating a natural reservoir of like water here in this chamber. And as the door kind of opens over, you see the room is filled with these sort of bat-like creatures. They look like this.
Cute.
And as you open the door, there's like a panic as they're all around the room. Most of them immediately like scurry and fly up towards the top, like for the exits. And a couple of them kind of turn, squint their eyes in your direction, and demand that you leave their home. They're speaking common.
You know, Saruk, I smell terrible when I get wet.
Yeah, and I don't have anything funny to say here. Maybe just shut the door. We're barging in on bath time.
Yeah, I agree. And I will.
Good thing you didn't break it down with that expert shoulder check of a fucking swollen door.
Well, I mean, I figured, you know, why don't we just check if it's open first? And I spun this little knob here, and it was able to be opened relatively easily.
Huh.
Yeah, the ones that didn't fly away are all kind of like trying their best to be super tough and like angry at you and like bristling their fur. But even through that, they just look cute.
I'm physically holding Annie back from like running into this room to go pet them.
Whoa.
Is this a Hal question or a Rick question?
Hal question. Did you see a guy about yay big, dark hair, dark skin come through here anytime in the last week or so?
Immediately, like two of them blow raspberry at you, like. I'll allow you a diplomacy check here to try to improve their attitude towards you. I will tell you they are currently unfriendly with you. So, you know, if you shift it the wrong way, they could become hostile.
I think Hal's just going to close the door.
Okay, so you narratively ask, but not mechanically make a diplomacy, like a impression. Okay. And without issue, because you've unstuck the door, you can close it, no problem. What do you turn around and say to the rest of your companions after that?
Yeah, more creatures with ears, big teeth, wings. They can fly, similar to the time dog. So maybe we just leave them alone.
I will say, when you asked the question and most of them like hissed and did their like, I'm going to be tough thing, there was one like almost like kid in the back that was like, is he talking about? And one of them like grabs the mouth of the kid and puts the hand over it. They definitely know something. And you get the sense that they know something. They just don't want intruders in their home.
Come back.
Let's keep on.
I mean, the vault seems like a good place to check. I mean,
Yeah.
we started this off with the vault, didn't we?
Don't worry. I am the key. God, I'm never going to live that shit down.
You don't have a key for this one, do you?
No, I don't, Reffy. I didn't then. I was talking shit because I was a little anxious about people.
You guys can move up to the next room if you'd like.
A lot of nothing.
The meticulously carved walls of this chamber have like stone bookshelves carved into them. All sorts of scrolls and texts were in this room, but you can just see now they're scattered and destroyed, shredded. Whatever knowledge was collected here long ago no longer exists. It exists as shredded paper fragments that is, rotted away, not being cared for in all the years. But you do sense a large bronze gear set decoratively into the eastern wall. As you get closer, you realize maybe it's not a vault door, but it looks very similar to a vault door in that it's a giant, oversized, spherical shape, but it just looks like a bronze gear. And it has a bit of an indentation in the center of it.
I'll look towards Anita, like give her a sidelong glance and point at the door. What do you make of that?
Let me go ahead and check. I'll go in and see if I could open it with my repair tools.
While you're at it, I'm gonna see if it's for the best that most of this is gone. The knowledge doesn't do anyone any good. But I don't know, maybe there's a spell book or something floating around down here.
All right, before I open this, though, I do have a question, because what if this leads to Kosawana? So if we do go in and see him, do we just act like we're not going to give him to the time dog?
I'm gonna ask him what he's doing. I'm gonna see if we can. Then oh god. Saruk clams up. We'll deal with it when we get there. Hi, Wybert.
Buddy!
There's actually space for him in this room. Like, he can actually spread his mechanical gears.
Just gonna give the big guy some space.
Do I do a blind roll for this check, Steve?
You can make it public. You don't have to make it secret on this. Crafting check, because you're trying to sort of use your repair tools to mess with the crafting is fine.
Asa. I would like to use a hero point for that one.
Let's use a hero point. This hero point brought to you by Petting the Time Dog. Petting the Time Dog, always a good idea.
The time dog petted me. Can I get a hero point for that one?
No, the Time Dog got a hero point for petting you.
Oh, good.
27.
22 bumps up to a 27. 27 is enough. So with that crafting check, you're messing with the door. You're looking at the notation. You get a sense looking at it that immediately it is a door. It's concealing something. The outside of this sort of bronze thing is a very intricately carved set of cogs and gears and pistons and levers. And it's currently in a position where it's like locked out into these very nicely carved sort of holes around the outside. So you immediately recognize it as a door. And with just a few, maybe 10 minutes of work, you're able to get your tools in there and sort of fashion a makeshift sort of key. The weird thing is there's no keyhole. There's nothing in here to enter a key. So how this works is kind of confusing to anyone looking at it, but your brain kind of sees the blueprints of what's going on. You understand the flow of how these Bry people, how the clerics here designed this and how the engineers functioned. And almost as if it makes innate sense to you, something inside of you just gets it. You sort of are able to sort of turn the exact right dial with your tools at the right place, and all the gears click into place, and around you the sort of vault door unlocks, and you now have access to open this at your leisure.
You see, Saruk, we did have a key.
Yeah.
We bring her with her everywhere.
I'm sorry. I probably should have trusted y'all more back then. I didn't get out of the office much. Anyways, everything on the ground of value.
Yeah, so you spend some time looking at it. Very, very little of value. It looks mostly like you do recognize one header of one piece of paper, and it's got that Logica design section code at the top. It looks like you found a page of an old version of the Logica design that's ripped, except for the 2.2.8 header at the top. But otherwise, there's nothing of value scattered amongst the scrolls and text here.
Someone paid a lot for this ruse.
Yeah.
Well,
Are we ready?
as ready as we're gonna be.
All right, it's open.
All right. So immediately beyond, as you kind of slide, the gear kind of rolls. After you've opened it, it kind of pivots on one end and opens out towards you. And you look into a sort of secret archive of some sort. Faded circles of occult runes and winding scripture adorns the walls of these alcoves, and the curving architecture and winding facades of which stand in sharp contrast to the precise angular designs of the rest of the temple. So where everywhere else in this temple is perfectly designed 90 degrees, 45 degrees, here the walls fluctuate, they're rounded edges. There's no sharp corners or edges at all in this space, but the walls themselves are written. There are strange Aklo inscriptions carved everywhere, and images of things that don't make sense unless you can pass a religion check or a cult check to make sense of it.
That probably should have been secret. Oop.
That's fine. I think the things that you are able to pick a look at You don't speak Aqua, right?
I do not know.
You don't understand the words themselves, but the descriptions of the images that are here are very clearly depictions of Yog-Sothoth itself. And no doubt you found sort of the entryway where the secrets of this temple would possibly have been revealed to those who were deemed worthy enough to pass through the vault door, and only the most trusted would have been allowed back here.
In the MSSP, we had a word for this room. This is the Kool-Aid room.
Oh yeah?
Not Reffy, no. You have so much to learn. I'm gonna like try to rub the side of it with my shield to see if any of it gives, like it's painted or.
It looks like if you were to give it a hard enough scrape with the shield, it's it's pretty quiet, and when you scrape, it does peel. A little bit of that paint sort of does scratch off of the surface of the thing. It does look like these are painted and probably a long time ago, but otherwise could be scrubbed and removed if with enough time and care.
If I had the time, I feel like we owe Bry a favor for glances back towards Anita. But I don't think we do.
Yeah, as you're scraping the shield along the wall and kind of coming in, you've drawn a little bit of attention. You hear a sort of like, who disturbs my chambers? And this weird sort of ghostly apparition of a creature appears standing before you.
I like that art, but I don't like that.
It looks like it's floating in the center of this chamber. There's definitely like a skeletal body that lies here, like in the corner of the room, slumped over in one of the curved chambers, and this like spectral skeletal body kind of floats in the middle of the room near it. A guttural like look. It's asking you like who you are and what you're doing here. How would you guys respond?
I think honestly, I'm just turning the backpack ballista towards it with intent.
Okay. In that case, let's go ahead and roll some gosh dang initiative.
Gosh dang initiative, and I'll even remember my +2 this time because of my best friend Hal.
Take the +2.
We have our ghost touch runes from the previous campaign, right?
Yes. We have too many goddamn bottle bitings. Does that count?
Whoa, where are the lights coming from? This is such a great presentation.
Anita. Sweet summer child. I hate that the monsters auto win ties. Damn it! I don't have the room for Pilgrim's token.
Yeah, that's right. It is tying. Tie goes to the monster. All right, so here, deep within the Cradle of Quartz, within this secret chamber, you found the place marked in the journal, the place mentioned as being safe. You found the lair of Droxelos, the 13th Ordinal himself.
Ooh.
A dead
The
alter ego.
bitch.
Oh no.
40 years ago, he made his last stand here and died. His spirit has remained hungering, starving, waiting for another soul.
Okora, is that you?
And you are the first to arrive in all these years. And because of that, it's ready to eat. So.
Oh no, it's doing the Tom rolls.
Oh no.
Okay, first action. First action, this like spiritual thing flies. You go to get the backpack ballista down, at 40, it's like a 40-foot fly speed, like glides across the room right in your face before you're even ready for it. It barely gets its turn off right before you. So close on the initiative. One action strides up. Second and third action, it's going to use its ability called Spectral Corruption. It reaches out and attempts to touch you. Its sort of spectral hand grabs right into your chest, Saruk, where it tries to grab your heart. It's got to make a strike. 29, that is a hit. So you're going to take 22 points of damage total. 12 of it is negative. I guess it's all negative.
Yeah, it seems like that way from. Can I block this?
You can, yeah. as weird as it is, you can block negative damage.
I mean, the shield is magic, so it makes sense they could interact.
So you take 14, the shield takes 14, and you watch as it does that, it gets some
My vitality makes it strong.
yeah, it gets a little bit of a boost from the damage it dealt to you. It gets like a little bit more life force wrapped around it. So that was 3 actions. It has a 4th action.
Before that happens, do you want me to? I've been hovering over this will save.
Yes, make the will save for me. Good call.
All right, I'm kind of all right at these. I'm gonna cry. We better use a hero.
20 is a failure. Let's use that second hero point. If you have hero points in chance, help us beat Droxelos. All right, 24. You bump it up by 4. 24 is still a failure.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Majagua. I'm gonna kill my friends.
And then, so you temporarily become controlled by this creature. It's kind of gotten inside of you. It's like grabbed your heart. It's pumping around your heart, and it's sort of gotten up to your brain, and it sort of has general controls over your actions for now. It tells you to basically, it tells you to turn around and use that ballista on your friends behind you. It also has a 4th action, which it uses to, oh yeah, once it does that, you hear in your head, get the gray one. Its last action, its 4th and final action is to step back. Let's see, can it do that? No, it can't. So its 4th action can only be done to make strikes, and so it targets you with the map on its last strike because you're the only one that can hit. Ooh, 32. So you're gonna take a little bit more damage. That's 19 points of damage. I'm not gonna make you make another will save because you already made one this turn. And it ends its turn, and as it's drained you a little bit of energy, some of your life force have gone into it, and you watch as this like angry like eyes satiates a little bit as it's fed, and it seems to lose a little bit of the hunger that it had a moment ago. Now, Saruk, it is your turn.
Okay, so when it hits me again, does that interact with me being controlled at all, or do I get another save? Or
It doesn't look like it. I mean, you can, if you, I was gonna say you don't have to take a save. I'll give you the choice. You can make the save. You might get a better result, but you might get a worse result.
Yeah, sure. I'll try it again.
All right, I will give you another save because it technically would trigger another save.
Yeah.
Same as before.
Alrighty, so then I will. I know what Saruk's best action economy is, but if you want to tell me what to roll, I'll do it.
I mean, I think he was just very like, how controlled is control? Someone else is making a decision for you. Yeah, let's just say because it's sort of controlling you, like all of Saruk's super brain power is probably a little dulled at this point. I'm going to say just all you have to do this turn is make your ballista strike against Halbrand. And that's all you do this turn.
I mentioned that you guys are really cool, and here we go. Habooski. Okay, cool.
21 is a miss. So the ballista comes out, shoots at Hal. Hal's able to like sort of react in time and push it to the side. The ballista fires down the hallway past Ruffy over Anita's head, probably bounces off of Wyvert's like armor. But I think that's all Saruk has to do. That's all it controls you to do on your turn.
Okay. And then I'm stupefied, right?
It says only on a success you're stupefied. For failure, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say like as success, but as far as I can tell. Oh, you after it wears off, then you become stupefied.
Right. And me, the thrall, that was the end of my next turn. So
Yep. So at the end of your turn, the control falls off, but you get stupefied too. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but could have been worse.
I think Saruk is very glassy-eyed, and then very wide-eyed, and then very fucking angry.
So I think Hal's going to try to move through Saruk as if he was his ally, even though he shot at him. Maybe something's going on.
Yep. He immediately seems to come to his senses right away. He's acting as your ally.
All right. And then Hal will move through him around here. Kopesh is out. He's going to make a strike against this creature. I think he's going to say, It is going to be a snagging strike. Not really sure if he can snag a ghost, but he's going to try.
It is an interesting question, and I don't think so, but we're about to find out. That is a miss.
0 point.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use my hero point for the sash. Roll and keep the new result.
So I'm going to say, based on my reading of this, you are not able to. It says an incorporeal creature, you can't attempt strength-based checks against physical creatures or objects. I know this isn't exactly a grapple, but there's nothing for you to grab onto because you don't have anything with the ghost touch rune. So I don't think you can snagging, like it passes through it. I will let snagging strike's ability override the general rule on this. You can't grapple it, but the snagging strike I will let ride because it's a special ability you have. So did your strike 25 hits exactly? Thanks to the actually, yeah, it definitely hits. 13 points of damage. It is resists 5 of that damage because it passes through it, you know. Oh wait. Oh, I forgot. They actually integrated damage reduction automatically in the system now, so I don't have to manually subtract the 5 it resists. It just knows. Perfect. And now it's flat-footed until the end of your turn. I took 5 off and it was too much, so it took 8 points of damage. And it's flat-footed.
I think I'll take a map attack. 24.
24 is just a miss, even with flat-footed condition.
It's my turn.
All right, Ruffy.
All right, using Into the Fray, free action, I draw my pistol, and then I stride towards an enemy that I can see.
Also, so it doesn't go unnoticed, Doc Nina gave Saruk a hero point in chat, so Saruk has 1 hero
Wow,
point.
who's that?
Hey.
They must be a great person with interesting character concepts and cool voices.
All right, I'm going to shoot it in the face for my first action.
It is flat-footed thanks to the snagging strike. It is a hit thanks to the flat-footed condition.
All right. 6 points of damage.
That means 1 damage bleeds through the resistances.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot I can do there. Second action, reloading strike. I'm gonna use my hero point.
Okay. That's a hit.
All right. 7 points of damage on that one.
All right, it takes 2. It's this weird feeling where you're like, you hit it, and then you can feel yourself sort of slow down as you pass through its body, and you get like a weird kind of cold sensation, but it just seems hard to touch.
And then I'm just going to use a feint attack to aid with the next person's strike for my third action.
Perfect. Brings us to Anita.
All right, I've seen this before, but in a different universe.
Stop looking into the lights, Anita.
You say that, the time dog will kill you.
Don't touch the lights.
If you're like, I've seen this before in another timeline, time dog's like, what'd you say?
Nani?
Nani? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna use my first action to stride inside, and with the frost vial in hand. Sorry, friends. I'm gonna throw it at this man, a creature.
Go ahead and make that
Come
attack roll.
on, frost vial. Where are you? Huzzah! Oh, that's a 27 to hit.
27 is a hit.
All right, I'm sorry for the splash damage, but it's only 2.
I want to kill my friends.
Okay, so it takes the full. That was kind of a low roll on your thing there. Takes the full 6 from that.
Takes no damage.
Why is it saying it takes no damage? That is weird.
I wonder if it's immune to cold.
Doesn't? Well, let me just double check. It's not. That's the weird thing. It should. It should. It has resist. It should be resistance 5. I don't know why it's double dipping on. Oh, I see. The 6 damage includes the splash damage, but I think it's just calculating it wrong. So it takes. He takes 1 point of damage.
Takes 1 point of damage.
Yeah, he resisted 5 on your bomb.
Fuck.
Everyone around takes 2 splash damage, which is now has its own little convenient splash damage button in the chat. That's kind of cool.
That is dope.
But he is going to take a minus 10 foot penalty to his speeds until the end of his next turn. So that's 2 actions so far.
All right, and then for my, I'm gonna get close to Saruk. For my third action, I'm gonna step towards Saruk. And then Wyvern can't really do much because there's no space in it.
Or Wybert.
So Wybert's just like getting all jittery, wanting to fight. That's the end of our turn.
We're at the top of the second round of combat. I'm looking at your guys' abilities against this thing, and man, this is like another one of your, like.
I believe in the me that believes in me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
I think the person that hurt it the most was Ruffy, so it's probably going to target Ruffy.
No.
And it's going to use its Spectral Corruption ability, which uses 2 actions and targets Ruffy with the Vile Touch. It's not... There's no, like, manipulate tag or anything that triggers an opportunity attack, so it just does the strike. That's going to be a 30, which is a hit, but not a crit.
Useth mine champion reaction as a reaction.
It's 12 points of negative. You reaction to reduce how much of it?
2 plus my level, so 8, yeah.
Okay, so you can take 8 less of that damage, Ruffy. You also are going to be able to take a step, right?
All of the things that liberate. I feel like the mind control ones are higher up that I just won't get. But yeah, if Ruffy wanted to step now, he could.
I will. I can only go really here though. So.
And then, as part of that, you need to make the will save against the strike.
All right.
Ooh, critical success. Amazing. Crits in chat. We need crits in chat for that one. Come on, everyone.
I feel like the guy who's been manipulated his whole life by people, then something tries to get in his head and say, hurt the people you care about. Yeah, no.
It reaches out to my heart to try to control my actions through my emotions, but I don't
He
have
has
any.
no emotions.
Yes, you do. You like Ducky?
You are able to push it out at least. With a critical success, you are unaffected by what it was trying to do to you, and you're immune for the next minute. It cannot try to control you again. That's pretty damn good. Then you step backwards, and then it has one more action, and it...
I did just resist its, Were you trying to do something, friend?
It'll target you with another Vile Touch. Oh, God. Chris in chat again for the GM. Thank you. You taunted fate, and now you're paying 40 points of negative damage.
All right.
How's that for emotion? But that's his turn. Saruk.
All right, one time before we're done today, I get to say those sweet, sweet magic words. Untap, upkeep, devise a stratagem.
Huzzah!
You have a card in play that says you must sacrifice 1 Kosawana if able. Otherwise, put this time dog in your opponent's field of play.
This isn't Magic the Gathering.
You're the one that says untap upkeep.
Shut up.
Upkeep, man.
For legal reasons. Okay, so I see a 26 with the runes. That becomes a 27. They're flat-footed. I'll hit, but it's like, to what? Oh my god, I hate this. We cannot make it drink elixirs of life for positive damage, probably.
I mean, the main reason I would say you probably can't is that it's incorporeal and it can't interact with a physical object like that.
Got no dang tummy.
You can't open its mouth and force it because there's nothing to grab. You know, like you can't grab
got
it.
a mouth, fake mouth. Okay, just flipping through all the things I have in the actions of this
Incorporeal,
game.
no mouth having bitch.
Yeah, I think I don't like it, but I'm gonna.
I don't like it.
The best thing Saruk can do, Lord have mercy. Bry have mercy. I could. Okay, so I'm gonna ask the team. Would you all rather everybody take a little bit of splash damage and I throw a bottled lightning, or I get like chip damage with my tusks? Is anyone adverse to electricity splash?
I think it's resisting 5 no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think there's no point in doing trying to do like, because it resisted 5 of the cold anyway. So what's the difference?
I mean, how hard can you stab somebody with your tusks?
Lord. Yeah, D6s, they're magic, but it'll be 3d6 plus 3. Yeah, it's good enough. Would a 27 hit, Steve?
27 will hit, yes.
Right, so action the second is I'm just gonna screaming in Orcish at the top of his voice, full of a lot of rage. 12 damage.
Okay, 12 damage. 3 of that is piercing, and 6 of that, or some of it is precision. It is immune to the precision portion of your damage.
Fuck yeah, I was afraid of
So
that.
it takes 6, which means it takes 1.
All right. Death by 1,000 cuts, you son of a bitch.
This is like not. There's like. This is if they were gonna make a creature that countered you guys. This is basically it.
Yeah. I'm gonna raise my shield for my third action, I suppose. That will be all.
That brings us to Halbrant.
Hal's gonna snagging strike this creature. I'm not really sure what we can do.
It's one of the reasons I wanted to throw the bone on Snagging Strike, just so you have something that's in your favor.
Gee, thanks.
Snagging Strike, as if you read it strictly written, there's nothing that means Snagging Strike doesn't work. Oh, let's go. Critical hit.
Woo!
Thanks to the flat-footed condition. Okay, 26 points. It's not immune. Yeah, Kristen Challenge. It's not immune to critical hits. So it takes 21 points of damage from that strike, Hal.
Nice. I will make an exacting strike.
Okay. It's that was also a snagging strike, so it's also still like, you know, it's flat-footed, yeah.
Come on.
That is a hit.
All right. Death by 1,000 cuts, easier when your best friend is a fighter.
There we go. So it takes 5 or 8 damage from that. We're getting somewhere.
I hit it once again, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do a
Now you're gonna quit it.
dueling parry.
Okay. The parry comes up, ready to defend. And we're at Refuse turn.
Stab Refugio.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? I never did my. Oh well. My feint for the next attack. That's all right.
Also, that's true. I think they hit anyways.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will say though, maybe I misremember it. Don't you have a shared strategic strike, Saruk? And you did use strategic strike.
You know what? Thank you. That is true. I got real like, oh shit, I can't do fuck all to this thing because it's immune to piercing or precision damage. Heck, yeah. I'm gonna name Refi because that's a great idea right now. Hey Refi, it's flat-footed to you. I can do something.
Is that it? It's a flat-footed condition? Okay, I thought maybe it was like a bonus to the strike or something. Oh well, it's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's something.
I am going to use. I don't really know. I don't know if it has attacks of opportunity. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna use Drifter's Juke. I'm not gonna use the first step. I will use the first strike though. And I'm gonna hit it in the face.
Okay.
Come on.
That hits, I'm assuming.
That's a hit, yeah. Sorry, I was reading an ability that I realized I didn't do, but it's probably good I didn't do it, so we're just ignoring it.
Thanks, Dad.
So, and then part of that action, I will take the step now, and then part of that same action, I will strike now with my pistol at map.
Okay. That's going to be a miss with a 17 total, 5 on the dice. Oh, did I say it? I said it in my head. I don't know if I said it out loud. Last turn when you critically succeeded, as part of that, I wanted you to take a hero point in that awesome moment of like defiance.
You did not.
I said it in my head. I think I got distracted saying it out loud.
Unfortunately, I'm not a telepath in real life, Steve, so.
I thought you were my thrall and I could telepathically communicate with you. I'm sorry.
I will use a hero point then and reroll that.
Shoot him in the face.
Nah, even worse.
That's not how that works.
Third action, I'm just going to reload, and that's my turn.
All right, Anita.
All right, using 2 actions to give Wybert 3. So Wybert is gonna squeeze in as much as he could inside this fucking thing. So that's 2 actions to get here. And then
Technically, Wyber can share straight space with this guy because he doesn't collide with anyone, right? He just is a ghost.
Refi, why are you so far away? Okay, Strook would be 5 feet away from him, and Refi would be 5 feet away from him as well. Yeah?
Yeah.
Would that be included in the burst? Because this is what I want to do. I want to use 1 action from me, the last action that I have, for a Searing Restoration. So here's my here's
Because he's a large creature, his burst gets bigger, and it includes both of them.
boom.
Almost like it was planned. Good job.
Yeah. So 13, Wybert's smoking, that's fine. And he gets a third load, so 2d10, so 3d10. Come on, roll high, man.
I like how alchemy is defined differently.
20 points of healing for everyone in this living creature, so not you, ghost no mouth bitch.
This was money. This would have been positive, and it would have hurt him. Is what I was gonna say. Yeah, but
That's what I'm checking. There's no positive. It's not positive. It's not like divine healing. It's just like, yeah, so it doesn't
Yeah.
affect it.
Science healing.
It also says specifically it has to be a living creature. So
Mm-hmm.
it is an awesome like the smoke comes up and everyone's like, oh, that heals. You know, like Wyber just vaped the whole room.
Breathe in deeply.
Yeah. And then Wybert still has 1 more action, so hey, why friggin' not? He's gonna try and hit this thing with piercing doesn't work on him, so let's do a smash.
Smash.
Ooh. So 24.
Thanks to the flat-footed condition, it is a hit.
Amazing. So that would take 15 points of bludgeoning
wow.
damage.
Yeah, so Wyber. So I know why it was doing that before. Why? Since Wybert's not magical, and since it double resists non-magical damage, so only 5 gets through. But I'm going to hand wave that for now. That's why it was giving extra resistance earlier, because
They're not magical in this.
alchemy's
edition,
not
right?
magical, so it double resists it. I don't like that. In this moment, that's too mean. So no, I'm not abiding by that.
But
I
the
need to give
time
you guys
dog
a
has
little
really
bit of-
changed Steve's whole GM style. Look how nice he's being.
All right. This creature it turns and spins on Hal, and it uses its much well-known ability now, Spectral Corruption, which allows him to make a vile touch against Hal. That is a 26, which is exactly what it needs to hit, unfortunately.
Come on, Halbrand.
So yeah, you can use your reaction. I'll roll the damage.
Oh, look, Doc Nina gave Al a hero point.
Wow.
Hero point for Hal from Doc. 18 points of damage reduced by 8, so that takes it down to 10 points of damage for Hal. And I need you to make a will save.
Will save or fortitude save? I thought it was fortitude.
Against this ability, it's a will save.
I think we wished it was a fortitude.
Yeah, it's not a physical thing, it's a mental effect on you, so it's definitely will. 21 is going to be a failure.
Hero point. Hero
That's hero point. Now, I know we have a history of rolling lower hero points, but please don't.
We
know
do.
you did.
Yeah, we do. Hal can step also if Hal wanted to.
You can't step. It would remove the snagging strike, but as long if you move out of range, but you can step if you'd like, Hal.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. That's his first action. He grabs your heart. It pulses in. The sort of dark tendrils go up into your brain. The whole like world gets a little fuzzy. You're almost like you're watching your allies like from a dark, like the end of a long hallway. He tells you that he wants you to use. He basically wants you to snagging strike and attack Reficule next turn.
No.
So that's what he's gonna do. You're controlled. That's what you'll do on your turn. And with his
Didn't even need to ask.
yeah, like finally an excuse.
No, you could have just asked. You didn't need to dominate me. Jeez.
And then I think with its action, it'll stride float through Saruk and Anita. And had you not been controlled, you could have taken an attack of an opportunity. Unfortunately, you are controlled and you cannot. Brings us to Saruk.
Okay. Tons of questions. First of which, is it obvious at a glance that Halbrand doesn't have all of his faculties?
He's going through exactly what you went through just a minute ago, and you can see it in his eyes.
Okay. I don't think there's.
Oh, also, as he's doing this, he's like, "Don't you know who I am? I'm the 13th." And he's like, got this like righteous fury as he's taunting you guys while he fights you.
Yeah, I'm sure you fucking are, buddy. I don't say that in character.
Yes, I got it.
Shit. Thinking, don't want to delay. I can't delay. I'll get next. Okay, so I think first action in defiance, Saruk roars back. I don't think I've done this in all of my time playing second edition Pathfinder. I'd like to use an action to demoralize the ghosty.
Ooh, demoralize the bitch.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll see what happens.
You don't have no mouth.
24. I think I'll let the 24 stick one way or another.
Okay. I will say that is a success.
Nice.
So that's frightened 1, right?
Yeah, I wish I had something that made that better, but that's what we got.
It is not immune to this at all, no.
And second action, I can move through Wybert, right? Yeah, he's an ally. What am I saying? If it is fair to assume that Halbrand looks like Halbrand's gonna go beat up Refi,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stride like this, and then with my third action, shit, he's not in control of his faculties. Keep yourself under control. It's fine. Here, and I'm gonna action the third is I'm gonna try to battle medicine Refi.
Okay. I thought you were gonna restrain Hal or something like, which is also a cool option.
I think I lose that. 10 out of 10. That is a grapple-based fighter. All right, we're going for the 15. I am stupefied to be Jesus and back. All right, tight.
That's a success.
Off the top of anybody's head, battle medicine is 2d8.
At this level, it should be 2d8 plus 10, I think.
Tight.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you roll, Anita?
2d8 plus 10, yeah.
It'll pass him. Here, this will patch you up.
Nice.
Thank you.
Refi is healed for 20. That is my turn.
Hal, as your turn comes in to affect the voice in your head that's telling you what to do, you turn your eyes on Refi and you are commanded to basically stride next to him, snagging strike, and then third action map attack.
All right. Well, I will need to have to tumble through Wybert.
That's, yeah.
It's interesting in this case. I think he could be put into a mode where Anita commands him to not let you through. So yes, I will allow that. I will say 2 things. 1, very creative and I like it. 2, take a hero point for thinking outside the box.
I will use it to tumble through.
Now spend your hero point to tumble through.
That doesn't actually work.
Why, but remember when we accidentally killed his dog?
Now do that again.
So 20 Wyberts. That's not enough to get to Wybert. You try to get to Wybert and Wybert like shield blocks you from getting to Refi.
Yes, Wyvern.
Second action, try it again.
Try it again.
Nope. Wybert play. I'm gonna say Wybert kind of pushes you back even off his square and is like no and like stops you from getting through him. It's like they're filming this wall. They won't let you get to Refi. You know, his third action is to do it again.
What is my is tumble through? Do I get to move and then try to tumble through? Because I think I would probably try to go around Saruk. Because I think.
Yeah, you move up to your speed and then you stop when you collide with an enemy and then see if you make it through or not.
So I would try to do Saruk since he's much harder, or Wybert's really hard.
I'm sorry, old man. I'm just gonna push.
Either way, like even Saruk, with the second one you go through Saruk holds you from getting through. Third and final action, tumble through it one more time.
Tumble through Saruk.
Saruk does not let you through.
It was you. You killed Lyrian. I'm trying to push past everybody.
You didn't even have that.
Shit.
Yeah, he's like showing you all these memories in your head. It like fades at the end of your turn. You become stupefied too, but he's no longer in control of your actions. Very
I'm yelling back, we can do this anytime you want, but now is probably not the best time.
Anita.
Oh, Ruffy?
Oh, sorry, Refi, yeah.
He didn't die. He gets to have a turn.
Yeah, that's right. I just assumed you were dead.
God.
Stride over here. Second action. Can I move Anita with an action?
So let's look at how like your strength and carrying capacity is. So you've got your carry bulk is 6. You're at the edge of what you can physically carry and still move. Anita is a medium creature and she also has 6 more bulk on her. I'm going to say the same thing is, you know, you don't have the body strength to physically drag Anita on your turn.
All right, I'm going to then attempt to tumble through. Do I have to tumble through this creature? Can I just walk through him?
You can just walk through this creature, yeah. There's no tumbling through. I mean, you can just walk through it. He walked through you guys a second ago. You can tumble through if you want it to look cool.
I think it looks cooler if you just walk casually.
Yeah, no, fuck it. I'm just walking straight through him.
Excuse me, bang.
You know what? I'm going to go a little bit further out, actually. I'm out in the hallway here. And I'm going to shoot him in the face. Is taunting a thing?
Basically, it's demoralizing, or what's the other? There's a feat you can do that's like taunting.
Bon, I have it as well. It's not helpful here because we do not want him to make will saves. I am Angelique Lovelace, I guess.
Yeah. Right. I guess I'll try to taunt him by shooting him in the face.
You know, that's a good way to draw aggro. I too have played the World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
You're way out of range of the tank, rogue.
That is a hit.
All
So
right.
close to being a crit.
9.
All right, 4 damage.
And that's the end
Kill
of my turn.
it.
I'm gonna say, you want me? Come out here and get me.
Anita.
Anita looks around. She sees that it's gone to shit. It's a fucking mess. So she goes back to what she learns. She looks into her formula book and then uses one action for quick alchemy to create a bottled sunlight.
Have you just been walking around with bottled sunlight? So, jeez.
No, I had to good thing I saved one more reagent for this thing.
This is like the quick alchemy thing. You just like whipping up some sunlight.
Yeah, I'm gonna whip out some sunlight, but right now it's so hard to do. Hello, please craft. Excuse me, where is it?
Shouting at her character sheet.
No, it's not letting me craft, Steve.
Let me see. I think because you've got so much stuff in there, yeah. So take all that out except for the bottle of sunlight. Now try it.
Okay. Let's see. Is it there? Okay, it's there. All right. And then Anita finally holds onto the bottle of sunlight and then just smashes onto this mouthless bitch's face. Hopefully it hits.
Y'all are so confused. That has a mouth. I see it. I don't get this reference.
I just saw Richard say it. So
Because he can't drink. He doesn't have a mouth.
2 actions already. So the mirrored bottle of lightning. So I have to activate it with a strike. So I gotta strike it.
Yeah, put it in your hand. Yeah, make the strike.
Come on! It's flat-footed? Oh no, Ravi's not melee with it.
That's right.
It's not, yeah. It is frightened.
Just don't miss.
Of course. Huzzah!
Mary Chrysler.
No!
You better use a hero
point. I don't have a hero point.
Well, in this inventive, oh, no, you just got one from chat. So take the one from chat. RK Richard RPG gave Anita a hero point. Also, this awesome moment of like whipping, like in the moment, just like, oh shit, and cobbling together something that creates freaking sunlight against this is just cool. And I want to give you a hero point for that awesome move too.
Oh, thank you. All right, so here we go. Mary Chrysler.
Come on, Chrysler. We need.
Okay, it hits. Yes.
That's a hit. Hero point worked.
Right. Perfect.
So,
okay, all of that.
it's actually more than that because it says
If it's undead, it takes max damage, so 4.
yes. So it's 1 more positive damage than was listed. So it's 4 plus 1 splash. So it takes 5 positive damage. Unfortunately, it resists all the fire damage.
Hail Mary, though, guys. I only have 1 infused.
5 points of damage total from that. But you do activate, I think when you hit it with this light, it flares up. It's not going to last for long because it's just going to last for 1 round. But I'm going to give it sunlight sensitivity for 1 round, which is it's clumsy and slowed 2 for this next round as it gets hit with the sunlight.
Look at you go.
At the end of my turn or at the end of its turn?
It's gonna last until it's gonna get 1 turn with those effects, and then it'll when it gets back to your turn, it'll lose those effects.
That's fine. I'm last. Take advantage of it, friends.
Yeah, it doesn't resist any of the positive. It's not weak to positive. Okay, perfect. But the sunlight sensitivity is the big thing here. That's really awesome.
So I have 1 more action to give Wybert 2. So Wybert's gonna. Yeah, Wybert's gonna run back out. I'm gonna squeeze through Ruffy. Bleep. Oh, somewhere there.
No, I'm trying to bait it out.
I think when you get hit with a bottled sunlight, I think the aggro has changed.
Yeah, so. Sorry, Ruffy. It's alright. Yeah, so he'll try to hit it. Wybert smash.
Wybert smash the clumsy creature.
Smash the clumsy creature. That's my
Mary
next
Chrysler!
Up.
Natural 20. 25.
25. It's a hit.
Sweet. Damage. 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
So it takes 9. Death by 1,000 cuts indeed. On its turn, it slowed 2, so that means it only gets 1 action. It looks around, its eyes hurt. It only has 1 action. It can't do the spectral corruption thing it wants to do because it's a 2-action ability. So, but it does look at you, Anita, and it does target you, and it does try to hit you with the vile touch, and that's a natural 1 on the dice thanks to the sunlight.
The dice gods are in my favor.
It can barely see, and it's got this bright sunlight. It looks at you, and it's almost like this angelic silhouette, and it tries to hit you, and it's repelled back. That's its turn. It only had 1 action. I'm letting this last until it goes back to your turn, so it's still clumsy and slowed. And clumsy 2 for everyone on this round. Saruk.
Okay, so its frightening condition probably fell off.
That is true. Yeah. It is still clumsy though.
First things first, just roaring in defiance. I'm gonna try to keep this man's feared. 21.
21 is... It's not going to do it.
Okay, so then second action, I feel like at some point in Saruk's training, he would have got that most undead have a specific, this is why they've come back. There are particular weaknesses or things which will draw their ire and stuff. And I was wondering if I could try a religion check to recall knowledge.
Sure.
I'm really bad at these and I'm stupefied. I also don't have a lot I can do. All right. Question fucking mark. I'm gonna roll real
Probably
bad.
not helping you a lot.
You know, it'll be fine if you just feed it to the time dog.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I think the thing that you remember here is that if you could expose it to sunlight for longer, it could instantly kill this thing. Like it's basically one of those undead where if it's exposed to sunlight more than Anito is able to do, you might be able to just kill it in one shot. Like if you could somehow draw it into direct sunlight.
So then, if this costs an action to seek, I understand. What is above me?
Yeah, that'd be a seek action. I mean, if you look up, there's nothing, but if you want to spend some time actually seeking, then you are free to try.
I think rather Saruk is gonna like the square above the thing. What is up there? Is there anything that might be? Yeah, here, point. I'm fishing for a crack in the ceiling. 20.
Looking around, you're back in that sort of constructed area where it looks really nice. It looks structurally sound. It doesn't appear anywhere in here that you'd be able to get sunlight. But there is a sort of inkling that in the back of your mind, which reminds you that there was sunlight within that like Natural Springs cavern just around the corner from here.
True. And there are also tiny little bat children who I don't want to expose to the awfulness.
True.
Why didn't we kill the bat children so we could use their home to kill the ghost? Fuck! That's my turn. Saruk just looks frustrated and is scanning the room.
All right, Hal.
I think Hal's going to delay, hoping that Nita gets out of the way.
That's probably not a bad plan. I will say that once Anita gets her turn, he won't be clumsy anymore, but you pretty much kick his butt anyway, so. Refugule.
Do I have line of sight to shoot him?
You do, like, he has like partial cover from Wyber, but you have line of sight.
First action will be... I can't step forward, can I?
We've not been having Wyber block you guys in the small hallways because you guys would never move.
Yeah, we would have been chocolate cherry fucked in this whole dungeon.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna running reload. I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
Yeah, you are.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
That's a critical.
That sounded good.
Let's roll
Why most
that
of fails?
mega damage. 35 points of
Sheesh,
damage.
kill it.
Resists some of it, but still takes a 27 points of damage. Refi, you're going. This strike destroys the ghost creature. How would you like to do this?
I just walk up to him and... We don't have time for you or your bullshit. Your time is gone and gone. You're just a sad ghost holding on to the past. We don't have time for this. And I just look to the rest of the group and I just shoot him in the face.
Will remember. And like the spirit is like dissipated and gone. And like the gunshot like rings out within these like curved chambers. And you successfully survived your encounter with Droxelos, the 13th Ordinal.
They're so good, guys.
A crit for a crit.
God damn it, Richard.
And I think in that like tense moment with you guys breathing, looking at each other, physical wounds, some mental wounds that might have been opened with this thing in control of your actions.
Oh yeah.
That's where we're going to call the end of tonight. We have gotten pretty deep into the chamber, the Cradle of Quartz, and you guys have faced some intense horrors. You've made a deal with the devil dog.
I wish it was a devil dog. That would make sense. Devil dog's easy.
Next week, we will find out what other mysteries go on down here. But I was sweating for you guys this week. I know I made a lot of like helpful rulings in your favor because you guys don't have electric arc.
I mean, I do think that is the hallmark of a great GM. Here's what the party brought. Here's what I'll do to make it work so the meta doesn't just grind them beneath its heel.
Exactly right. I didn't want to like make it too easy for you, but I didn't want to like make it impossible. So the one thing I forgot to do, it has like a frightful presence. So the first turn you got to make a fear effect or be scared. It's fine. You guys you've been scared enough. You're probably immune to anything that's not a time dog at this point.
I'm just walking around with things to prevent the frightened condition.
Yeah. So awesome crit to end the night. That's going to do it for us this week on Alkenstar.
You know, we spent so much time walking around making smoke stick jokes about like this was a fucking game of Phasma with a stupid time dog, and the place is actually haunted. Damn it.
Yeah, you needed some salts.
No, we needed bottled sunlight.
Yeah. That I didn't know you had that recipe. That was amazing. Like, I'm just going to craft some sunlight, smashed it in the face. I was like, hell yeah. Perfect. Yeah, so big thanks to Ninna, Richard, Ricardo, Tommy. Thanks for playing with me. It's been fun. As always, thanks for being creative and staying on your toes and just coming up with ways to fight your way through the odds stacked against you. I love watching you guys figure things out and solve puzzles. Real quick before we go, though, I really need to give a huge shout out all of our patrons who support us on Patreon. You guys are so amazing. I know that like some of them were in chat tonight. Like everyone that supports us on Patreon and makes all of this possible. You guys are awesome and amazing. Thank you. The list is going to start from the beginning in a second, and I will read it off. But give us a look at patreon.com/recallknowledge so you can get behind the scenes looks of upcoming episodes and early releases. Thank you to David Sims, Jason Irvin, Anish Herman, Mark Paquette, Awal Jalil, Ellie Boyle, Jay, Paul G, Sandra Wagner, Sam Skaggs, Michael Boggs, and Alejandro Porras. I can't do the rolling R's. I am sorry. I'm too white. I physically can't do the rolling R's. Sorry, I can't do it. But you guys are all awesome. Our list, the names keep growing. People keep adding their name and coming in. So thank you guys for that. Big thanks to Molten Hosting for providing our server hosting and sponsoring tonight's episode. Use that referral code Recall Knowledge.
One word.
You can get your first month of service for free from us, from Molten Hosting, and definitely from Wizards of the Coast. Tommy, what you got going on?
Hi, people on the internet. My name is Tommy. I sometimes do things on the internet. In the Paizo sphere, I get things from Paizo. And before this started, I was like, look at this dope box of cards and things. Yeah, right. And you can find all the links to the shit I do right here. I make a lot of content for Pathfinder 1st edition, 2nd edition, Starfinder. I try to send a link and it tells me to join Twitter. Let me send this damn link. Why? Oh, it logged me out when I moved to where
If you're
I
watching
live
on
now.
YouTube, it's down in the description below. Look for Tommy's name and the link is
Black
right
Dragon
down there.
Gaming on YouTube. The algorithm loves all the Paizo creators. You'll find me. Most of my work this past couple weeks has been with my friends at Eldritch Osiris. I was a reward on a project called Monstrous Beasts, A Guide to Friend Them, and that's starting to we're all in Discords building things and stuff. So there are a lot of cool people writing a lot of really cool shit. Vanessa Hoskins is one of them. I've seen all the things come down. I worked out. They want me to make one creature and one pet option, familiar animal companion, and I put together not a will-o-wisp, not a ghost, not a wisp. If you guys know that the elemental floats around, makes elemental damage do a little better, into imagine, if you will, a very old archdruid or an animal. What is sacred to a local druidic community is sacrificed or chooses to give their life in a certain area of standing stones, and then is reanimated to protect it, and then it gets certain abilities based on who they were in life, trying to be that here are ghosty things, but it isn't evil. Anything from the druid flavored one can give casters back focus points, but it causes the monster in question, to lose a bunch of their power and then have to gain it back up. Or the animal focused ones are better at fighting and things like that. And you can even take one as a familiar if you're willing to do a little ritual stuff. But I would love to send that link. You know what? I'm going to put that link in the Discord, and someone who isn't Tommy can do it, because the folks at EOG sent me Monstrous Beasts, A Guide to Friend Them is in. I need to copy the H in HTTP, or that won't send. It's officially in pre-order. If you guys are interested in really, 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 really cool shit,
Nice.
I highly recommend it.
Very awesome. That link will also be in the description of the YouTube video if you're watching later on YouTube. Yeah, can't wait to see it.
so many cool people on that project. Like the folks from Goblets and Gays are there. The guy who runs Rise of the Rule Lords, I think, is the podcast. He's in there. I'm just scrolling through, like, I know you, I know you, I know you, I know you, I know you.
The whole Paizoverse coming together and making awesome content.
Yeah, that's EOG in a nutshell.
Right? I love the Paizoverse. Everyone's so awesome in it.
Oh, actually, you know what? I have one more link. Thinking about that. That's also a thing they do. I gotta remember what it's called. I did some freelancing work for EOG this week. They have a comic, and it's called. If the folks at EOG are watching, they're yelling at me because I don't remember the name. There we go. There it is. Simply PF2E, which is the rules put together in cute little comics for folks like I know myself sometimes when I'm reading Wallow text, my brain will divide by fucking 0 and I won't retain any of it. And I know there are a lot of people out there who play nerd games who that is something they have to deal with. And this is a means to make the information easier to process. And the folks at AOG hit me up because they wanted playbooks for, like, at level 1, here's a cool thing this can take. At level 2, here's this. And here's an easily spelled out combo that we can make in really interesting, cool art and shit. So that way you can understand it and remember it and then play it forward. I don't think any of those are on Simply PF2 yet. I know a lot of it's like under construction, but when it's there, it's going to be really cool. What I did was I took a lot of the channel's videos and was like, that was cool. I guess I'll unfree archetype this and try to make it work.
Nice. Yeah, I hadn't seen that before, but I was looking at it right now. It's a pretty cool way to present all this information.
Yeah, it's really, really helpful.
Bite-sized way, yeah. For the TikTok generation, there should be TikToks.
I mean, the guy who runs EOG is like 19, so yes.
Yeah. He can teach us a thing or two.
Teach me how to TikTok. I don't know how to do the algorithm anymore. I'm an old man.
Anyone else have anything they want to shout out?
Wear masks.
Wear masks.
We're still
You
seeing
guys are
COVID.
vaccinated.
It
You
needs
guys are
to
so
stop.
Californian. You're correct, but
Yeah, California.
I'm tired of this shit.
I'll wait till May
Yeah.
when it's no longer a global
Stop it.
emergency or whatever.
So with that being said, we went a little late tonight, but we started a little late tonight, so it bounces out. So we'll be back next week, presumably, assuming all goes well. Fingers crossed. February 8th at 7:00 Pacific, as we continue and probably finish unraveling the mysteries here within the Cradle of Quartz.
This has been such a cool dungeon. I didn't start Outlaws of Alkenstar thinking I was going to dungeon crawl Eldritch Horror. This is wild.
It is. We took a left turn. We took a hard left out of Alkenstar.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it is a different thing. It's nice to get a cleanse of the palate before we go back to the click clack.
Go back to late stage capitalism.
Before we go back to late stage capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Until next week, everyone, please stay safe and stay healthy. Goodbye, everyone.
Good
We'll see you at the
night.
Cradle.
Don't fuck with time.